I'm sorry, I had to make sure that it was streaming live on YouTube. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail, which may be cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case. If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service. The fee will not be returned. I don't know what fee will be charged, but is usually based on a percentage of the bond. Finally, if you use property to post a bond, the property will need to have a net equity in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. I'm going to ask everyone to raise their right hand now, please. Do you swear or affirm any statements that you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, I'm ready to proceed.
All right, Judge, we're gonna start with the females first.
Okay.
All right, y'all have a seat. All right, when y'all walk up here, don't cross over the Ys, walk all the way around, okay? Simple enough. Are you on this one?
Me?
Yeah.
Am I done? Is that what you said, Austin?
Whenever you're ready, Your Honor. I got the woman ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, well, I got them in alphabetical order, so man, you first. So just tell me your name. No, tell me. You got to see you.
Hey, Diana.
Good morning. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Daisha Chandler.
Ms. Chandler, you've been charged with two offenses. One is simple battery and one is criminal damage to property in the second degree. The criminal damage to property in the second degree is being charged as a felony. I've set bond for both of these offenses at $5,000 a piece, which brings a total bond of $10,000. I've also put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Nidisha Nickens. Do you believe you can post this bond, ma'am?
Can you repeat the bond again, sir? I'm sorry.
The total bond amount is going to be $10,000.
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Ms. Chandler, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for March 24th at 8:30 in the morning, and that's going to be over Zoom hearing like we're having here today.
Yes, sir.
I would encourage you to contact the bonding companies that the sheriff has authorized to write bonds in this county, because they will work with people. So you tell them your charges, you tell them your total bond amount, and they will tell you what fee they will charge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Is it at 10% or anything towards my bond?
It's going to be around that. I know some bonding companies will put you on a payment plan. So it's not something that necessarily that you're in a situation where all of this has to come out of your pocket at one time.
Yes, sir.
But I do encourage you to contact those bonding companies.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
No, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Hello, Your Honor.
Yes.
Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right, next one.
Good morning. Are you Ms. Comer?
Yes, sir, I am.
Ms. Comer, you've been charged with two driving related offenses. One is driving or operating a vehicle with no insurance. And the second is operating a vehicle with a concealed tag. The bond for the insurance charge is $1,000. The bond for the tag charge is $500 for a total bond of $1,500. You believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay.
But I can.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can. Is that a 12% if I was to post that bond?
If you go through a bonding company, they will charge you a fee, and the fee is generally a percentage of the bond. So because I don't work for the bonding companies, I can't tell you exactly what they'll charge, but there is a list that the sheriff's office maintains, and you can contact each one of them, tell them your charges, your bond amount, and they will tell you what fee they will charge you.
Okay.
Okay. So do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Ms. Comer, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd. That date will be waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
So do I come back to court for that? You say May 23rd, I come back to court for that if I'm already bonded out?
March 23rd, and no, you will not.
So if I'm already bonded out, no court?
Right, you will receive information in the mail as to your new court date.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir, that'll be all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
I don't know.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Albert. You've been charged with, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
My fiance asked me if I could ask you for SOR, sir.
At this time, we're not doing those bonds. So we're going to have to post a bond.
So you would have to go to the bonding company, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Um,
And you've changed it, Your Honor?
I'm sorry.
You've changed it from this morning's?
When you say changed it, are you saying like you were given a higher number?
Can I get? I can't hear you.
Your Honor, can you hear us?
Yes, it froze for a second.
Yeah, our internet acting up again, but, yeah, go ahead.
You said there is 2,000, right, Your Honor?
Yes, and I'll tell you this, Ms. Galbraith, this is automatically set. So the sheriff's office, there are fees that are added on.
Yes,
So
sir.
you may have been told a higher number than the 2,000, but that's something that they are required by law to add fees to the bond. So if it was a little bit higher, it's because of the fees that were added on. And I don't have access to that information. It's within the sheriff's department.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so was that the question that you were getting at?
That was one of them. Also, if they can't get bonded out, then how long do it until my next court date, sir?
It's gonna be March 23rd. It's gonna be the next date that's set.
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I would encourage you, they will get the paperwork today. But that doesn't mean that someone will talk to you today. But with this charge, they may be able to put something out with the state court, with the solicitor's office, the prosecutor, so that you're not sitting here until March 23rd, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. This is also a misdemeanor, not a felony, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, because somebody here said that it was a felony, and I was making sure, Your Honor.
No, it's being charged as a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions of me, ma'am?
Not that I can think of right now, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You just have seen that. Just have seen that.
Are you Miss Milam?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Milam, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. I've set the bond at $5,000 for that, and I've put a stay away, placed a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Dyron, Washington. Do you believe you can, I'm sorry?
Please stay at my house.
I understand. Well, let me explain it to you this way. Whenever there is a battery charge where people are living together, the person who's accused of being the primary aggressor in that case, we put a stay away provision on the bond because we don't want whatever led to the disagreement that led you to come before me. We don't want that to get started right back up tonight. Okay. So the fact that this person lives with you complicates the situation, and it may be your house, right? But if that person says, I'm not leaving, that person gets to stay. On
A restraining order, so.
those avenues are all available, and they were available before this led to a physical altercation. So I have to do what I have to do in this circumstance, but the stay away provision, it can be changed, it can be worked out later. I don't know the circumstances other than what was written here. So it may have been something that was totally out of character. Everybody got it out of their system, they're ready to move on. Or it may be something where a person says, I'm in fear of my life, okay? I can see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. That generally moves things along faster. Do you want me to see if you qualify?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, ma'am, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. If there are items that you at the house that you need to have temporarily until this gets worked out, you can make arrangements with the sheriff's department upon bonding out, and they will make arrangements to come so that you can retrieve some of your things. But it's not going to be like an all-day situation where they're there waiting for 10 hours. So it'll be something that they will work out with you so that you can, on the short term, have the items that you need to live your life.
What if he just leave? Would that be even better?
If he just left, then you can go back to the house. The whole thing is you have to stay away from him. Okay. So if he's not at the house anymore, you're free to go there. But if he says I'm gonna stay at the house and you go back, you stay at the house and that is discovered, your bond could be revoked and you could receive additional charges. Okay. So I'm gonna set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, and that date's gonna get waived upon your bonding out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any other questions of me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. All right, you Miss Rankins?
Yes.
Miss Rankins, you've been charged with 1 count of family violence battery and 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property. And your criminal trespass damage to property is being assigned as a misdemeanor. So you have 2 misdemeanor charges. I'm setting the bond for both of these offenses at $5,000. So you got a total bond of $10,000, and it's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from Janiyah Wilkerson. Do you believe you can post this bond, ma'am?
No.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
You do qualify, Ms. Rankin, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, but like I've told everyone else, the bonding companies will work with people, so don't just resign yourself to sit here and say that you can't get out. They will work with you, okay? Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
Yes, I do have one.
Yes.
Okay. What if my mother? Never mind.
Okay. Okay. If you don't have any other questions, ma'am, you're free to go back. You Miss Thibodeau? Hi, are you Miss Thibodeau?
Yes.
Ma'am, you've been charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana, and I'm going to deny the bond at this time. But I'm gonna set a preliminary hearing date for March 24th at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna set a bond hearing date for March 26th at 8:30 in the morning.
I'm sorry, sir. I was gonna be, the officer that arrested me said that I was charged for, over an ounce.
Well, it did say over an ounce, but it says 10 vacuum sealed bags containing suspected marijuana.
Yes,
And
sir.
this is coming from the airport.
He told me that it was under 10 pounds. He said they weighed it there in front of me and it was under 10 pounds.
Yes. And I understand that. I get about at least 2 of these a day of people coming in from the West Coast. And when I look at your criminal history, because you're a multi-state offender, I'm denying the bond at this point. That's the reason. I've set bonds on these before, but they're generally people with one arrest or something like that.
I've never been arrested. I haven't been arrested here in the state of Georgia, sir.
It's showing on your criminal history that you are a multi-state offender. And if I remember correctly, it was in Houston, and I think in California.
2015, yes, sir.
Okay. So when I look at these charges and I look at what's going on, this doesn't appear to me to be like you just had like some marijuana that you were using that you just left in your bag or you brought over. So that's why I'm denying the bond at this point. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, or do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, or are you going to represent yourself?
I plan on hiring my own lawyer. Is there anything else anything I can do, Your Honor?
Well, your lawyer can contact the attorney's office, and they may consent to a bond, or they may agree to work something out. But right now, the reason I'm denying your bond, as I said before, is it was showing that you're a multi-state offender.
I've never been convicted of any crime, sir. I'm a registered nursing student, and I also have a full-time job, and I have a 3-year-old son.
I understand. I mean, I understand, but those conditions existed before your arrest. Do you have any other questions of me, ma'am?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine.
Are you Miss, is it Walters?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, ma'am, you've been charged with 4 offenses: disorderly conduct, giving false name, address, or date of birth, obstructing an officer, and smoking in a prohibited public place. I've set bonds on all of these offenses. The disorderly conduct, the bond is automatically set at $1,500. The false name, I've set the bond at $1,500. The obstructing an officer, I've set at $2,000, and the smoking in a prohibited place, I've set at $1,000. So that's a total bond of $6,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, man?
No, sir. No, Your Honor.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor. I also had a question, Your Honor.
Yes.
Because I moved to the state for a job transfer, so I have no family here, nobody in Georgia with a Georgia ID that can come set my bond. But I know for a fact that I do get paid next week, and I have my work card here with me, and I'm looking to set my bond next week when I do get paid. I also have cash at home to pay a bond, but like I said, I have no one that can come. And that's why, like I said, I'm taking full responsibility for my actions now. I gave her a false name because I didn't know with everything that was going on, but I have no one in Georgia that can post a bond for me. I can post my own bond. Like I can definitely, I have a job. I'm supposed to be at work today. I have no way of contacting my job to let them know that I'm not going to be able to make it. I heard you say you're not giving out SORs or anything today, but sir, I don't know, like, what advice can you give me? Because I'm not gonna be, I have to, this is my only issue is I don't have anyone to contact a bonding company. I don't have anyone to go to a bonding company for me. Like, I can do this all on my own. I can have this $600 handled today as soon as I got this $600 handled today, but I would have to go home and get it.
What I would encourage you to do is to contact the bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds here. Before I was a judge, I was a criminal defense lawyer for more than 20 years, and I've dealt with bonding companies. Their business is to get people out of jail. So they will work with you. but you're gonna have to contact them. You're gonna have to let them know what's going on, and then they will tell you what they're willing to do. I've
Sure.
seen them have people sign basically affidavits that they're going to pay, or contracts that they're going to pay, because they've seen the person to be a good credit risk, so that they'll get them out of jail. But that's going to be something that you're going to have to do. And I hope, man, don't, these are silly charges. These are really,
I could have avoided that situation. I take full responsibility because I shouldn't even be standing in front of you today. And I apologize for standing in front of you today because you got bigger and better fish to fry than this type of stuff. And like I said, I apologize. I just want to figure out a way, the best way I can, to pay this bond and get home because I'm ready to pay. I have to be to work. I can't stay here for a month to prelim.
based upon what you told me, contact the bonding companies, and I guarantee you one of them will work with you.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Okay. Did you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, and I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And you're going to have that preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but it's going to get waived upon your bonding out.
Mhm.
Do you have any other questions of me, ma'am?
If I don't bond out today at if I can't bond out, wait, no, I don't. You have a great day, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, are you Miss Woods?
Yes, sir.
Miss Woods, you've been charged with one count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $5,000 for that, and I placed a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from James Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe you can post this bond, man?
My neighbor, she's supposed to be here to post it. I don't have any family down here. I come down here from Tennessee, non-weight bearing. God gave me my legs that I'm standing on. I have not went to no other doctor's appointment because I did not have a vehicle. I have my tax money on my card,
Okay.
but from the reason why I got the battery charge was because he had a witness. But where it happened at is a video camera that he didn't want to go and look at. On the video camera, it shows that I had already previously left my home because we had an altercation like 2 days before. The officer said, to prevent the arguing, someone needs to leave. So I took initiative. I left. I went to the gas station. I was there. He proceeded. I don't have a spleen or common cold to kill me. He asked me if I wanted to get in the car to get warm, and that's where everything else landed. I have 3 children. I don't have no one to, right now my neighbor has my kids. He modified over my phone so I can't get no contacts or nothing. My birth date, when the police officer pulled my name up, my birth date was his birthday. Like, he has everything swapped or whatnot. So I'm basically stuck in a rock and a hard place. And I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna give an excuse for anything, but like I said, the video should show everything that happened. If you could see if I qualify for a lawyer.
That was going to be my next question. You do qualify. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And you should tell the lawyer all of the things that you just told me. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
Yes, sir. As far as my children, that's my main concern, is my kids. Like I said, I don't have anyone down here, and I don't know how I would get in touch with any of my family in Tennessee because she has my phone, but I can't get into the contacts or anything.
Okay.
To get my children situated. I don't have a problem with doing the time. I'm worried about my kids. I don't want them in state custody because I'm a mom for anything. That's why I left. And I guess because I didn't call the police first, it looked bad on my behalf, and it was able to give and allow him to say whatever it is that he could say or whatnot. He's on parole, so I would have never called. It was a verbal argument or whatever, and it should never got this far. But I'm just worried about my children.
The neighbor that has the children, she can't contact the relatives in Tennessee?
My phone, like I said, that's the only thing that I had was my phone. My cousin, she was here a couple of months ago for driving. She got pulled over for driving. She automatically bonded out, but I could give maybe one of the officers her name, and they might probably could call her to come and get my kids. I just don't want to leave my children. If I have to stay till the 23rd, I don't want my kids just out there. And that's my only thing.
I believe that the neighbor may be able to use 411 to try to find a relative if they have the name up in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. Oh, what was my bond again?
$5,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor,
Yes.
come on. Ms. Gabbard have a question to ask you.
Okay.
I just thought of it, Your Honor. I apologize, sir. My fiance is a worker at Drive Medical, okay?
Mhm.
And we have 2 service animals, sir. And we're living in a hotel. And there's no way that we have anybody to watch over them. And I don't know, like, if there's a way, because I don't have a way to just call him. Other than from the jailhouse. But I know that you guys only allow us to talk, twice, sir? And I've already spoken to him at 3:30 this morning, sir.
Okay.
So I'm trying to make it where he can work and I can pay for my mistakes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I don't know what I could do.
So I don't understand the question that you're asking.
Is this like a set rate across the board of my charge, Your Honor? Like, I can't get it reduced at all?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. You're free to go back.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Tolles, I see that you're here. I didn't realize we had a Spanish-speaking individual.
Yes, sir, I'm present.
Do you know who you're here for?
I saw a name on the list. I'm not sure if he needs me, and Mr. Giovanni Martinez.
Judge Gardner?
Yes.
Yes, sir. He bonded out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so he bonded out.
And then there was another gentleman, but I think he was also listed out to bond, Mr. Hernandez Sierra.
He's bonded out as well.
All right, those were the only 2 names I knew about, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I apologize for your having to waste your time here, but thank you.
That's okay. All right, have a great day.
You too.
All right, Judge Gardner, you ready for the meals?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, give me 1 moment. Stand by, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, are you done with the morning? You good with the females, Your Honor?
Yes, we're done with females.
All right, you have a good day.
You too. Mhm. Good morning. Are you Mr. Bland?
Sir, good morning.
Mr. Bland, you've been charged with one count of trafficking marijuana. The bond is going to be denied at this point, but I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 24th and a bond hearing date for March 26th. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'll hire one, but Your Honor, I don't have a history at all. I've never been in trouble. I'm 29.
Your GCI team showed a number of arrests in East Point and Atlanta.
But it's just for traffic, just like registration or something like that. But I never been in trouble.
I understand, Mr. Bland, but there's another young lady who was in a similar situation as you this morning. And I told her, I see at least 2 or 3 of these a day of people coming in. And I have set bonds before, but it's normally people got one arrest or something like that. I saw, I think, at least 6 arrests maybe on your
They always just only traffic. That's it. I never been arrested for anything other than just the traffic, and I was out the same day.
I understand. I'm gonna leave it as a denial right now. Your lawyer can contact the DA's office, and they may work with your lawyer to either get a consent bond or work this thing out. But right now, it's going to stay as no bond denied.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Are you Mr. Body?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Body, you're charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. If I go through a bonding company.
Okay. I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Can you see if I qualify for appointment of a lawyer?
You do qualify, Mr. Body, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Boynton?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Boynton, you've been charged with 3 offenses. Speeding, the bond is automatically set at $500 for that. Driving a vehicle with a suspended license, the bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. And giving a false name, address, or date of birth. And the bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that, for a total bond of $4,000. Do you believe you can pay the bond, sir?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I'm also going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived on your bond. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You see if I qualify?
You do qualify, Mr. Boynton, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, you can go back.
Okay. Mr. Brown.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Burton. You've been charged with 4 traffic-related offenses. They're all misdemeanors, so bond is going to be set in all of these cases. Charges you're going to have for the driving on a suspended license. The bond is going to be set at $1,500. For driving a vehicle with expired tag or no license plate, the bond is going to be set at $500 for that. The driving a vehicle with no insurance, bond is set at $1,000 for that. And then driving with defective equipment, the bond is set at $500. So you're going to have a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, I can. If I get in touch with someone, I can't do it from here myself, sir. Is there a possible way that I can get a signature bond or something like that from in here, sir?
We're not doing signature bonds at this point, so you're gonna have to post the bond. But I would encourage you to contact the bonding companies that are allowed to are authorized to write bonds in this county, and they will work with you. Or have someone to assist you.
Well, I'm not sure when that they are allowing us to use phones. I need to find out which way they're letting us use the phone here at. I need to be able to get in contact with someone through the phone here.
Okay, they will allow you to use the phone after this. It's not gonna be like an automatic, you go downstairs and you're gonna get a phone call, but they will allow you to use the phone, and they will give you, the sheriff's office will give you a list of bonding companies that are authorized to write bonds in this county. So you can either call someone that you believe can help you, or you can contact the bonding companies.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Brown, would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
All right, that'll be fine, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Brown. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Brown?
No other question in the phone call.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
Okay.
Are you Mr. Clayton?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Clayton, you've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended or revoked license. The bond is going to be automatically set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir. If I can be able to get it to a phone call and make that, yes, sir, I can make that happen.
Okay, you're going to be allowed to use a phone when you get done with this process. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
You can see if I qualify, Your Honor.
You do qualify, Mr. Clayton, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. You said the bond is set at how much?
$1,500.
Okay, 1,500. And do you know if I have to pay the percentage of the whole thing?
You're going to have the ability to either use a bonding company where you pay a percentage, or you pay the total amount in cash to the sheriff's department and they'll return that when you're done, or you can use property.
Okay. So let's say, for instance, I have a 2020 Mercedes Benz. If I want them to, and I own my car, if I want them to take my car property, they can let me out the day of. I mean, how would that work?
Well, it would basically, the sheriff's department wouldn't take your car, but you probably can make arrangements through a bonding company for something like that.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Coley?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with 4 offenses, and I'm setting bonds on all of these offenses at $5,000 each. So it's going to be a total bond of $20,000. And there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond, stay away from Alexandria Acubar. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
I will try my best, sir.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Coley, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Coley?
Could I use a car for property?
I'm sorry?
Could I use a car for property to put up for the bond?
The property is real estate.
Okay.
So a bonding company may make arrangements with you with respect to the car. If the value of the car can cover their fee, then they may use that. I mean, I've seen bonding companies get creative.
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. You, Mr. Cotton?
Sir.
Mr. Cotton, you've been charged with 5 offenses. One is driving a vehicle with a tag that's been concealed. The bond is going to be automatically set at $500 for that. There's also a concealing the ID of a motor vehicle charge. Bond is going to be set at $500 for that. There's reckless conduct. The bond is going to be set at $10,000 for that. And I am not allowed to set a bond on an aggravated assault charge. And I'm not bond on the drug charge. So you're not going to have bonds set on those 2, but you're going to have a bond set at $10,100 on the other 3. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for March 24th at 8:30 in the morning. I'm also setting a bond hearing date for March 26th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
If I qualify.
How much do you make per month? Approximately.
Probably about 1,600.
Okay.
15.
I'm going to find that you qualify. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And the lawyer can possibly work with the district attorney's office to get you a bond or get a consent bond before these hearing dates. But if that doesn't happen, you have these hearing dates that are set. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
I mean, like, with the aggravated assault, if it's like no weapon and like, how does that work?
You don't. Well, it can be accomplished in a number of ways. The way that they're saying, let me tell you. Allegation here is that you discharged a firearm at this residence, and there are two people that said that they witnessed you shoot at them or shoot at a residence. So that's how it's being charged. Now, that's just the allegation. You know, doesn't mean you're guilty of anything, but because of the charge, I can't set a bond.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, that's all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Morning.
Good morning. Are you Mr. Dickerson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dickerson, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery and 1 count of battery. I've set the bond at $5,000 each, so a $10,000 total bond, and stay away provision to stay away from Alice, Washington. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Yeah, I probably can talk
Okay.
to some bonding companies.
Okay, I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd at 8:30 in the morning, and that'll be over a Zoom hearing like we're having here today. Do you plan on, well, looks like you make a little bit too much for me to appoint a lawyer at this point. So you're gonna probably have to look into hiring your own lawyer.
Well, that number I gave you is from my last year assessment of working, but this year's been kind of slow, so it's probably dropped down. It's probably about 2,000 a month.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer based upon that representation.
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Dickerson?
Yeah, if I post my bond, will the lawyer that you appoint me, will I still be granted to?
Yes.
How would I be able to contact him if I post my bond?
So the law firm that handles misdemeanors is called Lister, Lister, and Holt, Holt. They're gonna get this application form today, so they're gonna know that they've been appointed to represent you. I don't know when you will be in contact with someone from that law firm, but you can at least know that they're the people who are representing you. And if you need to contact them by probably tomorrow, they'll at least have it into their system.
Okay, I got one more question.
Sure.
My vehicle is at the home with the person I have to stay away from. How can I get my vehicle to go to work?
You can make arrangements with the sheriff's department.
Once I bond it?
When you bond out, and they will make arrangements so that you can go get some of your items. This, I believe there was another person on the calendar yesterday, so I remember this name.
Christina Gaddis.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so there may be a wrinkle because I think I appointed the same law firm. So you may end up with a conflict lawyer that's representing you. And that's generally a lawyer that is in private practice that has agreed to take indigent cases.
Can I ask you a question on her behalf?
Go ahead. If I can answer it, I'll answer it.
Was she given a bond?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. You to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Are you Mr. Is it Ethington?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ethington, you've been charged with one offense of robbery. I cannot set a bond for that offense at this point, but I am giving you a preliminary hearing date of March 24th and a bond hearing date of March 26th.
Sir, may I ask that I've been in the custody of the Department of Corrections since December 30th of 2018. And is there any way that, like, I haven't seen my family since the pandemic started, and I'm just asking for a reasonable bond, sir?
What I'm saying, I can't set a bond for this robbery charge at this point. So it's gonna have to go to the next judge, or I can appoint you a lawyer and the lawyer may be able to work something out with the DA's office as it relates to a consent bond.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes,
So
sir.
do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Ethington, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
What firm would a lawyer be out of?
It's going to be, because it's a felony charge, it's going to be the Clayton County Public Defender's Office, or if there's any kind of conflict related to this, it'll be a lawyer in private practice that has agreed to take conflict related cases.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hi, you Mr. Gibson?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gibson, you've been charged with one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. The bond is going to be set at $2,500 for that. Do you believe you could post that bond, sir?
Yes, and I have a question on that incident. I was the victim that got shot there on scene, and in the police report, he doesn't even say why he came on scene, but I'm the victim. The name I gave him was the suspect name.
What, it was a warrant that the officer, I think,
The
swore.
warrant is from the same day I got shot. I went to the hospital and everything. Clayton County sent me to the hospital. Clayton County, I called Clayton County and they came out for me.
No, I understand. It does say that you're the victim. It says, though, the reason that they're charging you with this offense is that the allegation is that you had an active warrant. And so you gave a false name because of the active warrant. Now that's the allegation. That's the allegation. Doesn't mean you're guilty of it. Hold on one second. Okay, I apologize. So that's just the allegation.
So why didn't they arrest me then?
Well, it looks like they swore the warrant out the same day. And I don't know why.
I was in the hospital for a week and nobody even questioned about the whole incident of me getting shot.
Well, and that is possibly why you weren't arrested at that time, because you were in the hospital. Does that make sense? Like if you were under arrest in the hospital, they would have to have a sheriff's deputy standing at your door 24 hours a day until you got out of the hospital, and then you would have went to jail.
So why didn't I do that?
They don't have to do it, but they chose to write the warrant and then to come get you later.
So
But
my bond 2000, what you said, 2000?
$2,500. The fact that you were a victim in this case is probably gonna, what they call, mitigate the charges. But I don't know, and that's gonna be something that's gonna have to be dealt with at a later time. Are you gonna hire your own lawyer, represent yourself, or you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment
Do I
of a lawyer?
qualify for our time?
Yes, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And that date of March 23rd, the preliminary hearing, that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir, that's it.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry.
So once I bond out of here, I'm free to go?
Yes.
Yes,
As
sir.
far as I know, unless you have a warrant or hold or something in some other jurisdiction that I don't know.
It don't say no holds or anything?
No, the sheriff's department, they do the final check. So they will be the ones that you should ask as to whether there are any holes, and they will tell you if you have holes on you.
So I can just ask one of the COs here?
It'll be someone that is related to your bonding out, like just the average CO that's there, like either Deputy Bland or whoever there with you. They don't have your information. But you start going through the process of bonding out, those are the people that have the information about whether there are holes on you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Sir, you've been charged with 2 driving-related offenses. One is driving a vehicle on a suspended or revoked license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. The other charge is driving on the wrong side of the road. The bond is going to be set at $500 for that. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Apologize, Mr. Myers. So you have a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See if I qualify.
You do qualify, Mr. Myers, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're also going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
If I got money in my property, like how would I do that myself?
You're going to have to ask the sheriff's department how they go through that, because I don't know that process. But when you go back down, ask someone, if I got the money in my property, how can I get it out? How can I use that?
All right.
Okay. All right, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Newsom?
Yes, sir, Judge.
Mr. Newsom, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. I've set bonds in both of these cases. The possession of marijuana less than an ounce, I set the bond at $1,500. But the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, I've set that bond at $20,000. So that's a total bond of $21,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
No, sir, Judge.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. For the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, that's a felony charge. So the preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 24th. And there's going to be a bond hearing date set for March 26th. This lawyer may be able to get this bond reduced, but Mr. Newsom, you had a pretty lengthy kind of criminal history, and you just can't be walking around with a gun.
Sir, I did not have a gun on me. It was in a car that I was currently riding in, and the officer never asked whose weapon it was. He just automatically assumed it was mine. But that was not my weapon in the car at all.
So you need to make sure you tell the lawyer that, and the lawyer may be able to deal with that as it relates to equal access issues. But Mr. Newsom, you got to be careful about the people you're around, because if you didn't have a record, this wouldn't even be a charge. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions of me, Mr. Newsom?
How much was the bond again, sir?
$21,500. Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Rawlings?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you've been charged with family violence battery. And it says that there is a prior conviction, so this is being charged as a felony. There's also a theft by taking that is being charged as a misdemeanor. So the bond for the battery charge is going to be set at $10,000, and the bond for theft by taking is going to be set at $2,000 for a total bond of $12,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Adrian Brown. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Yes, sir. I should be able to.
Okay.
I can get to the phone.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See if I qualify, sir.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
No, sir.
Okay. You qualify, Mr. Rawlings. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 24th at 8:30 in the morning. And that'll be over Zoom hearing like we're having here today. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Rawlings?
No, sir. And you said the bond was 12,000?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're free to go back. You're Mr. Is it Sifo?
Yes, sir.
So you've been charged with a number of offenses, 8 offenses. And because of your criminal history, I cannot set bond on these drug charges. You will have a bond set on use or possession of drug-related objects, and you will have a bond set on the driving on a suspended license, and it's going to be $1,500 for both of those. But the bond is going to be denied at this point for all of the felony offenses. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 24th and a bond hearing date set for March 26th.
You said what, sir?
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 24th and a bond hearing date set for March 26th. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Qualify.
You do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Woods?
Sir.
Mr. Woods, you've been charged with 1 count of family violence battery and 1 count of theft by taking. The battery count, the bond is going to be set at $5,000. The theft by taking, the bond is going to be set at $2,000 for a total bond of $7,000. But I'm also going to put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Demarii Johnson.
Yes,
Do you think you can post this bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for March 23rd, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Do I qualify?
You do qualify, Mr. Woods, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, Judge Gardner, you should have been the last one.
That's the last one I have on my side also.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You have a good day.